Let's dive into the simmering feud between Gervonta, Tank Davis and Terence "Bud" Crawford, two names that don't even share a weight class but have somehow ignited a rivalry that's outshining their biggest in-ring opponents. This isn't just another case of fighters trading barbs for clout or headlines. It's raw, it's personal, and it's reached a boiling point. What started as subtle jabs on social media has erupted into a full-blown confrontation, and it all went down on live television. Forget cryptic Instagram stories or heated X posts. This time, the world watched as these two titans clashed face-to-face. No gloves, no ring, just pure, unfiltered tension. So let's break it down, piece by piece, and figure out how this beef got so deep, and why it might just lead to the fight everyone's dying to see. Picture this: Tank Davis, the brash, flashy knockout artist, sitting across from Terence Crawford, the cool, calculated technician with a resume that speaks volumes. Tank's the new-gen poster boy of boxing, undefeated, until recently, dripping with charisma, and packing a punch that's left opponents crumpled on the canvas. Crawford, on the other hand, is the seasoned veteran, a two-division undisputed champion whose precision and ring IQ have earned him a spot atop the pound-for-pound rankings. These guys don't even fight in the same division. Tank's been dominating at 135 pounds, while Crawford's been holding court at 147 and eyeing 154. Yet here they are, locked in a feud that's got nothing to do with belts or weight classes and everything to do with pride, ego, and a mutual disdain that's impossible to ignore. The sparks started flying long before their live TV showdown. For months, Tank had been dropping hints, flexing his confidence with offhand comments about moving up in weight and taking on anyone who dared step in his path. Fans, always eager for a dream matchup, started throwing Crawford's name into the mix, and Tank didn't back down. He leaned into it, practically daring Crawford to respond. And Bud, being Bud, didn't let it slide. Whenever Tank's name came up in interviews, Crawford was quick to dismiss him, pointing out that Tank hadn't faced anyone near his caliber. "He ain't fought nobody like me," Crawford would say, his tone calm but cutting, like a blade hidden in silk. That was the first flicker of fire, a challenge issued, a gauntlet thrown. Then came the Ring Magazine Gala, a night that poured fuel on the flames. Crawford was there, front and center, soaking in the spotlight as one of boxing's elite. Tank, nowhere to be found. He wasn't even invited. When reporters asked Crawford about Tank's absence, he didn't mince words. "He ain't on my level," he said, brushing off the younger fighter like he was an afterthought. The jabs turned sharp, and the tension started to feel less like hype and more like a personal vendetta. By the time these two ended up on the same live broadcast for a boxing panel, everyone knew something was coming. The air was thick with anticipation. Would it stay civil, or would it explode? The panel started innocently enough. Just a group of boxing minds talking shop, breaking down the state of the sport. Crawford sat there, exuding confidence, dressed like the champ he is. Tank, across from him, looked coiled, like a spring ready to snap. For a while, it was all business, until the conversation shifted to the pound-for-pound rankings. Tank's name came up, and that's when the room tilted. The host asked Crawford where he'd slot Tank in the top tier. "We got Inoue, we got Canelo, we got Usyk," Crawford rattled off, pausing for effect. "You can put Tank in there, I guess." The "I guess" hung in the air like a slap. Tank's eyes narrowed, his jaw tightened. You could see it, he wasn't just hearing a ranking, he was hearing disrespect. The host, sensing the shift, pressed further. "You and Tank have gone at it a little. Would you entertain a fight at, say, 147? Crawford didn't flinch. "I ain't going back down to 140, he said, shutting down any talk of a catchweight. "He wants to fight, he comes up to 147. Tank, usually the picture of swagger, started unraveling. "You don't know me as a person," he shot back, his voice rising. "You don't like me. You don't even know me." Crawford just smirked, unfazed, like he was enjoying watching Tank squirm. It wasn't about boxing anymore. It was about dominance, about who could hold the upper hand in a battle of wills. What came next was pure chaos. Tank, clearly rattled, let it rip. "If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'd break your neck," he said, his voice dripping with venom. "And that's on my kids. You know it, I know it, the whole world knows it." Crawford didn't blink. "He's a hater," he said later, dismissing Tank's outburst like it was nothing. But the damage was done. The live TV moment turned a simmering rivalry into a full-on war, and fans were left buzzing. This wasn't just trash talk. This was two fighters who genuinely couldn't stand each other, and the world wanted to see it settled in the ring. Let's be real, a Tank Crawford fight is a logistical nightmare. Tank's a natural 135-pounder who's flirted with 140 but never gone higher. Crawford's a welterweight king who's talking about moving to 154. The size difference is glaring. Tank's power is devastating at lightweight, but how would it hold up against a bigger, stronger Crawford? And Crawford's never been one to cut weight for anyone. He's made it clear Tank would have to come to him. He wants to dare to be great. Let him move up like the legends do, Crawford said, throwing down the challenge. Tank, for his part, has scoffed at the idea. He's got a glass chin, he's claimed. I'd tap that chin at 147 and watch him fold. The fans, though, they don't care about the details. They want to see Tank's explosive power tested against Crawford's elite defense. They want to know if Crawford's icy precision can handle Tank's one-punch knockout threat. They want to see who cracks first when the stakes are through the roof. Most of all, they want to know who walks away with the crown, because right now, both fighters have something to prove. Tank's the young lion trying to cement his legacy. Crawford's the established king looking to remind everyone why he's number one. But here's where it gets complicated. Tank's aura took a massive hit recently, and it's changed the stakes. His fight against Lamont Roach was supposed to be another highlight reel knockout, a chance to flex his dominance. Instead, it was a disaster. Roach, a skilled but underrated contender, didn't just hang with Tank, he outworked him. Round after round, Roach landed crisp shots, targeted the body, and showed heart Tank couldn't match. Then came the ninth. A combo from Roach sent Tank stumbling, his glove grazing the canvas. The ref didn't call it a knockdown, but the optics were brutal. Tank looked mortal, vulnerable, and for the first time, beatable. Roach walked away with the win, and the boxing world erupted. Tank tried to shrug it off. I thought I did enough, he said, blaming everything from greasy hair to bad luck, but the excuses didn't stick. Crawford pounced. On live TV, he called the knockdown real, said Roach got robbed of a bigger moment, and tore into Tank's hype. He got exposed, Crawford said, twisting the knife. All that talk, and he couldn't back it up. Tank had no comeback. The loss wasn't just a blemish, it was an earthquake, shaking his reputation to its core. Now, a fight with Crawford isn't just a dream matchup, it's a lifeline. If Tank wants to silence the doubters and reclaim his spot at the top, he needs a statement win. Beating Crawford, the pound-for-pound king, would do that and more. But Crawford's not making it easy. He's laid out a roadmap. Beat Keyshawn Davis first, he said, tossing out a name that's no pushover. Keyshawn's a rising star at 140, backed by Floyd Mayweather, trained with purpose, and hungry for a scalp like Tank's. If Tank takes the challenge and wins, it sets the stage for Crawford perfectly. If he ducks it, the narrative flips. He's scared, he's dodging, he's not what he claims to be. And then there's Floyd Mayweather, the wild card in all this. Floyd's ties to Tank are complicated. Mentor turned rival, big brother turned shadow. They've split, but Floyd's influence lingers. Keyshawn trains with him, Crawford respects him, and Tank's still trying to step out from under his legacy. Floyd knows I'm passing him, Tank said, hinting at a deal bigger than anything Floyd ever signed. But Floyd's watching, possibly plotting. He's the bridge between these worlds, and his next move could tip the scales. This beef is far from over. Tank's got a chip on his shoulder and a point to prove. Crawford's got the throne and no intention of giving it up. Their live TV clash was just a taste, verbal haymakers flying, egos bruised, and a promise of more to come. If this fight happens, it's not just about belts or bragging rights. It's about redemption, legacy, and settling a score that's gone way beyond the ring. The boxing world's holding its breath, because if Tank and Bud step into that squared circle, it could be one of the most electrifying showdowns in years. Who's got the edge? Tank's power or Crawford's skill? The kid with everything to gain, or the king with nothing to lose? One thing's for sure, this isn't ending quietly.